This video is brought to you by Dr. Kristen R. Bromley's Guitar Method Book Series and Online Music Academy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kristen Bromley. Welcome to my online academy. I am thrilled to be here helping you with playing the guitar. In this quick answer episode, I'm going over ninth chords, specifically major ninth chords, also known as major ninth chords, dominant ninth chords, also known as major minor ninth chords, and minor major ninth chords, and minor ninth chords, also known as minor ninth chords in theoretical terms. So these are ninths that are added on to seventh chords, and we play seventh chords on the guitar. Jazz music especially uses these chords, but there's other styles that use them as well. So I'm going to dive in. I will mention that if you want to learn the seventh chords and you haven't seen those yet, it's great to check out the quick answer video on that. And if you want to know about add nine chords, those are different. Those are major and minor chords with just the ninth added, no seventh, then you want to check out the quick answer video on that. And if you need 6/9 chords, there's a quick answer video on adding that ninth to sixth chords. Okay, let's jump in. So we have four types here. We have the major ninth. The major ninth chord has the root, the major third, the perfect fifth, though sometimes it has to be omitted. The more colors and things we start adding to these chords, the less we can actually play because we only have 6 strings, and sometimes those notes are on the same string. But we got the major seventh. It's important to note that this is a major seventh chord, and then the major ninth gets added, which is the major second, one whole octave higher. So the dominant ninth chord then has the root, the major third, the perfect fifth, the minor seventh. That's the big difference between the major ninth chord and the dominant ninth chord, is the major ninth has a major seventh and the dominant ninth has a minor seventh. They both have major ninths, major thirds, perfect fifths, and then of course they have their root. So then the minor major ninth has the root. It's a minor chord, so it has a minor third, perfect fifth, major seventh, because it's the major seventh, and then a major ninth. Minor ninth chords have the root, the minor third, the perfect fifth, the minor seventh, and then the major ninth. So the difference between the minor chords and the major chords is the major chords have a major third, the minor chords have a minor third. And then the difference between the major 9 and the dominant 9 is that the major 9 has a major seventh, the dominant 9 has a minor seventh. The minor major ninth and the minor ninth, the difference between those two is that the minor ninth has a minor seventh and the minor major ninth has a major seventh. So these are just ninths, major ninths, being added on to our 4 types of major seventh and minor seventh chords. Minor, major, minor, minor, major, minor, major, major. Those 4. It's a lot to be said, but if you need help with that, check out the videos on seventh chords. Let's look at the chord symbol before we look at the shapes. So the root note, for example, could be C, B flat, F sharp. These are just 3 examples I've chosen to show. With a major ninth chord, what happens is the 9 replaces the 7 in the chord symbol. So we'll see C major 9. That triangle is telling us it's a major 9. So C, B flat, F sharp. Then we have the 9 there in place of the 7, but it implies that the 7th is there. It's just that we don't need to add all these numbers to our chord symbols. But we have to have a triangle or something in front of that 9 telling us it's got a major 7th in it. It's a major ninth chord. It's got the major ninth and the major 7th. So triangle, M-A-J, capital letter M, all those work to tell us this is the major 7th chord with the 9th added, not a major chord with the flatted 7th added and the major 9th. That's the next one. So the chord symbol for the dominant 9th, that's the one with the major chord that has a flatted 7th or a minor 7th. We see the root, so C, B flat, or F sharp, and then the number 9 is just thrown there. The 9 implies that the 7th is also in the chord, and because there's nothing in front of that 9 telling us it's a major 7th, like the triangle or M-A-J or the capital letter M, then we know it's the minor 7th that's being added, or the flatted 7th. So we just see that number there. And move over to the minor major ninth. Couple examples here. We've got the root again, C or B flat. Something needs to tell us that it's minor, like a minus sign or a lowercase m. And then because it's the major 7th being added, we need something like a triangle or a capital letter M right in front of that number 9 to tell us that it's a major 7th in this chord, not a minor 7th. And then the 9. So minor, major, 9. For the minor ninth, I've got a couple examples, F sharp and B flat we need something telling us it's minor, so that minus sign or the M, and then the 9 is just thrown on. Nothing in front of it telling us we're having the major 7th, so we've got the minor 7th in this one. That can get kind of confusing, but the best thing to just kind of remember is that the minor 7th is more common in our chords, and if we were to put something in front of it, it would create confusion in the chord symbol. So when the number 7 is just added to a chord without a triangle or a capital letter M or MAJ in front of it, then we know that it's just the minor 7th, and that's the more common one. So when we throw the 9 on in place of the 7, it works the same way. And then if we need a major 7th, we're going to have a triangle or MAJ or capital letter M in front of that 7, so in front of that 9, letting us know that it's there. And when we see a 9, it implies the 7 is in the chord. That's unless we see the word add. If add were in front of that 9, that's a different type of chord. That's an add 9 chord, a major or a minor chord with just the 9th added, no 7th. There, that was a lot of theory and a lot of explanation. There are quick answer videos that go into greater detail. Let's look at how to play these. And I'm going to compare them going across the way. So we've got this form that's got the root on the 6th string here, and these are movable, meaning wherever I put this note along the guitar neck is the version that I'm playing. And then I've got some for the 5th string. And because they're related, it can help to see all 4 types at once, which is why I've done this video with all 4 types at once. If we can see what's moving, then sometimes it's easier to memorize these. So first, the major 9th. I'm going to use these right at the middle portion of the neck. So I'm going to do B flat, which is at the 6th fret for the 6th string. And I'm going to put my index finger there. So index, we skip over the 5th string. Middle and ring, though, go 1 fret higher than the index. So at fret 7 on the 7th, 4th and 3rd strings, 7th fret. And then my pinky skips up here 1 more fret higher, so 2 higher than the root, up to the top string. We mute the 2nd string, we mute the 5th string, we have a nice major 9. This one is voiced root, 7, 3, and then 9. There is a 5th right here, but we don't have the fingers to get it in there, so that's why it's not being played. If you were to play this in a rootless context, meaning the bass player was playing the root, you could get that 5th in there. But you would need to be able to get that root in there. Without the root, it's a different chord. So if the bass player's playing it, we can do what we call rootless. We take that off. So that's the major 9th. Now, the one difference between the major 9 and the dominant 9 is that the 7th is flatted. So you'll notice between this one and this one, all we've done is move that finger down 1. Otherwise, it's the same chord. So index and middle are both in the 6th fret because that's where I'm demonstrating. Ring finger goes 1 fret higher on the 3rd string. Pinky goes 2 frets higher than the root on the top string. We mute the 5th and 2nd strings. And we've got a dominant 9th. So the difference between the major 9th and the dominant 9th is that 7th. Whether we have the major 7th like we do with major 9 or the flatted 7th like we do with the dominant 9 or the flat 9. Now saying flat 9 can be confusing because we can throw an altered 9th onto a chord, and there's quick answer videos about that, but this is the major 9th. Okay, then we go and we make our chord minor. So here at B flat again, I'm going to put my middle finger onto that root note. My index finger needs to play in the same fret strings 2 and 3, and then my ring finger comes right on and grabs 1 fret higher on the 4th string, mute the 5th string, and my pinky reaches 2 frets higher than the root up to the 9th. So this one's voiced root, 7, flat 3, 5, 9. You'll notice the difference between this one and that one is we can get the 5th in there, so it's there, but the 7th is the same, it's that the 3rd has been flatted, so it's gone down 1. So there is a minor, major 9th chord. This last one over here then is the minor 9th. So the minor chord with a minor 7th and the 9th added. Middle finger stays. The only difference between this chord and that is that we've got to flat that 7th, so it goes down 1 fret, and we get a minor 9th chord. So my ring finger bars across strings 2, 3, and 4. Middle finger is on that root on the 6th string. Pinky's grabbing 2 frets higher on the top string. Minor 9th. So So that's how those work for the 6-string form. And then it's all about what note I put that on. So if I'm playing that minor ninth and I go at the 6th fret, there's a B flat. My root is on the B flat, so it's a B flat minor 9. If I go 1 fret higher, it becomes B minor 9, C minor 9, C sharp or D flat minor 9, D minor 9, D sharp or E flat minor 9, E minor 9. If I go the other way, B flat, if I go down to A minor 9, A flat, or G sharp minor 9, G minor 9, and so on. Let's look at the string forms that are off the 5th string. So we have the root on the 5th string. I'll start there at the 6th fret again. Middle finger goes there for the major 7. Then the next string, I'm going to be 1 fret lower. So I'm going to be at the 5th fret with the 4th string. Middle finger stays in the same one as the root up on the 2nd string. Pinky comes and fills in on the 3rd string, 1 fret higher than the root. This is a great sounding chord. They all are. I love these sounds. This one goes root, 3, 7, 9. That's how that's poised. Now there is a 5th up here on top, but it's tough to reach. Your ring finger having to bar over with your pinky reaching doesn't work very well. So we can just omit that. Unless, of course, we were playing the rootless version with a bass player playing the root. Can't be rootless or it's a different chord, but we can play rootless versions on the guitar when the bass player is playing that root for us. So that's a major 9 here. If we make it dominant, the only thing we have to do is flat that 7th. So in this case, middle finger on the 6th fret, index on the 5th, on the 4th string, ring finger plays across the top 3, and we get root, 3, flat 7, 9, and then the 5. Now a lot of times I'll play it with the top string muted and just mute that. You can put the 4th finger in here, 3 and 4 instead of the bar. Some of my students like to do that instead. I usually bar over. Lots of years of barring, I guess, but it can be played either way. So there's the dominant ninth then, C9. In this case it's E flat 9, but it's like these ones here. We can then do minor major 9, where the 9th is where we're playing a major 7th chord with a flatted 9. So compared to this one, all we got to do is flat the 3rd. So you'll see that it's very similar with the 3rd flatted. So middle finger, and this takes a stretch on that 6th fret, 5th string. My index goes down 2 frets lower to the 4th fret of the 4th string. Ring still on that 6th fret on the 2nd string. Pinky still on the 7th fret of the 3rd string, and I get a nice minor major 9. Root, flat 3, 7, 9. And I'm muting the top string, though there is a 5th there if I could reach it, but I can't. Then if it's a minor 9th chord, meaning a minor chord with a minor 7th, I can just bar across, because we got that 7th flatted, just bar across, and I get a minor 9 chord there. Root, flat 3, root, flat 3, flat 7, 9, and then the 5 if I want it on top. I can alternatively mute that top string and play this one with my pinky if I want to too. So that's how to play those, and then it works the same. Just demonstrating with the minor 9th. There it's E flat minor 9. If I go 1 fret higher where this note is an E, it's E minor 9, F minor 9, F sharp or G flat, G minor 9, or I can go the other way from E flat down to D, D flat, or C sharp down to C. So it's all about where this note is placed along the neck to tell which version I'm playing. Hope that helps. I will mention sometimes in songs, especially if you're playing in the jazz context, it's sort of expected that we'll often throw ninths. You might only see chord symbols that say at the 7th level, but then players will intuitively throw those ninths on as desired. Or you might see chord symbols that call for the ninth. It happens both ways, but we don't always go into the complexity of throwing in these colored tones. The ninth is considered a color tone. We don't always throw those into the chord symbols. Sometimes when we're playing jazz, we see it at the 7th level and we choose to throw ninths on as part of our intuitive interpretation. So you can do that when playing, especially in like the jazz context. But these chords oftentimes show up in other popular styles as well. Folk, country, pop, rock, and so on. Sometimes they show up, but they especially are played in jazz, in the jazz style of music. The other thing that I'll mention is sometimes we get alterations of the ninth. So this is all major 9, but you can't have a flat 9 or a sharp 9. There's quick answer videos that go into how to play chords with that. Especially we play that with the dominant chord. We'll use those altered 9s. Okay, hope that helps. Hope you're having fun with the guitar. Keep doing so. I love playing the guitar. We'll catch you again. Take care. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. For more in-depth lessons and to progress through a free guitar course, check out my Guitar 101 series on YouTube and my guitar method books, which all come with access to hours of in-depth video lessons. You can find more information about me and my products at KristenBromley.com. Take care.